That's crucial. Thrilling chases between man and nature, massive fish schools, and stormy fishing scenes. In this world, every big dream starts with a wave. Each moment is dramatic, surprising, and breathtaking. The tuna industry is vital to the global marine economy, feeding millions and creating jobs worldwide. Tuna fishing brings many fascinating aspects. Japan, the Philippines, and the US lead in tuna industry development. Fishers use advanced techniques for high yields while protecting marine resources. To find prime fishing spots, they gauge currents and winds by the boat's movement. A small boat begins casting the net. On board, at least one person is responsible for releasing the buoy and upper net. Meanwhile, another person handles releasing the middle and lower net parts. Finally, the moving boat will drag the net. After casting, the fisherman pulls the float rope to create a circle on the sea surface. This encirclement helps them surround and catch as much tuna as possible. Simultaneously, narrowing the net area minimizes damage to the fish meat. The tuna is hauled onto the ship using a crane system. To ensure quality, the tuna is immediately stored in a cold chamber for freshness. They move fast and swim far, making it very hard to cast and pull nets. They had to spend weeks searching for tuna schools. Fishermen also work in harsh conditions while maintaining fish quality. Scallops are caught on the seabed using a large rake with a mesh bag. Okhotsk sea fishers can haul in 26,000 pounds of scallops in just 4 hours. Towing time depends on nearby boats' conditions. The first haul was over 8,000 pounds, a good catch. Fishermen immediately drop the trap for another round. Meanwhile, the crew sorts through the scallops. Most scallops are harvested for frozen products. Large-scale dried scallop production starts in June after spawning. Each boat's scallop catch quota is set at 24 pounds. Tiny scallops are tossed back, but all sorting is done by hand. That's why fishers say sorting is the toughest part. These are fishing moments you can't miss. Indian fishermen use primitive but bold fishing methods. Each sea voyage is a calculated risk, especially during monsoon season. They cast massive nets while the boat moves swiftly across the water. This demands precise coordination to spread and sink the net properly. When rough waters tangle buoy ropes, they dive in without hesitation. Their gear is basic, but their skill surpasses modern fishing fleets. Years at sea teach them to read currents, fish patterns, and weather. Hauling large catches onto the boat is a dramatic man versus nature struggle. Large offshore ships sometimes face serious challenges. The smell of seafood easily attracts troublesome seabirds. Sudden waves, trap-setting incidents, or deck fires are common hazards. These are challenges crab fishermen face in harsh ocean conditions. The Bering Sea is known for its violent, unpredictable waves. These waves make decks slippery and dangerous, risking capsizes. Bad weather also causes rough seas, hindering boat operations. Fishermen can completely lose visibility in these conditions. When hauling crab pots, they must work fast to avoid strong waves. They must also maintain balance on the rocking vessel. Fishing fleet crews often work long hours, leading to fatigue. Poor health makes them prone to mistakes and accidents. Unexpected challenges push fishermen to their limits. These are the tensest moments in the deadly fishing battle. Handling heavy gear in storms increases injury risk. An emergency rescue was carried out. The injured person was airlifted to the rescue station. Unfortunate incidents still occur. Rescue becomes difficult for ships far from shore. About 15 to 20 fishermen work simultaneously. A trip lasts 3-7 days, yielding 15,000 pounds of tuna. How do they catch so much fish so quickly? They use live bait to keep tuna swarming the boat. Water sprays from the boat's rear to simulate a chase, attracting tuna. The fishing rod is typically made of bamboo. The hook is designed for easy fish escape. This makes tuna less vulnerable and speeds up fishing. Besides modern techniques, a centuries-old unique fishing method still yields amazing results in the vast ocean. This is the Taiwanese fire fishing method. When fish gather in large numbers, fishermen quickly cast nets around the illuminated area. Some boats use large seine nets to maximize fish catch. Fishers spend up to 6 hours nightly catching 60 to 80 pounds of sardines, earning over $4,500. Under darkness, a small group of Taiwanese fishermen set sail off the northeast coast. They light a fire on a bamboo pole and wait for fish to arrive. These light fires are mainly used for night fishing. Like magnets, hundreds of sardines leap towards the bright light until the net is pulled aboard. Around 5 p.m., the squid fishing boats set off one by one. As we reached the squid beach, darkness gradually fell. This is when squid feed heavily and are primed for commercial fishing. Squid fishing vessels are designed to optimize the harvesting process. To attract squid at night, the ship has a powerful lighting system. The light draws squid from afar, easing the fisherman's approach and catch. Squid fishing rigs typically have numerous fishing lines. Each line has many small hooks, increasing squid catch per session. The fishing process is quite straightforward. The fishermen cast the fishing rig into the sea. They then monitor and check for the ideal fishing conditions. They reel in the line when a squid is caught. Modern fishing vessels aid in efficient fishing and seafood preservation. Squid are processed and frozen on board for preservation. Onboard freezing maintains squid quality and nutrition. Navigation and radar help pinpoint locations accurately. This saves time and fuel, reducing risks in squid fishing. Modern tech boosts fishing efficiency and yields. Red king crab, a prized catch, is quota regulated. Fishermen must work hard during fishing season to maximize their economic returns. But there's an exception. Red king crab can be fished year-round in one place. That place is Norway's fishing grounds. 2023. After a 2-year hiatus, 31 Alaskan boats vie for 2.1 million pounds of red king crab. Meanwhile, Norwegian fishermen can build boats and fish for red king crab all year. Burgoyne's fishing village live. Hey! 500 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle, this icy place once faced bankruptcy. Years of overfishing and poor management limited cod quotas. Boats sit idle in the cold waters. Fishermen survive on meager income from catching and processing fish. Then the crab showed up. These crabs had 2 sharp claws and were much heavier than the brown crabs they'd seen down south. The red king crab invasion was initially seen as a disaster. Crabs caught in nets and hooks damaged them, allowing fish to escape. But learning of Alaska's lucrative king crab industry, fishermen saw potential profit. Red king crabs became a lifeline for northern Norwegian fishing villages when cod was scarce. King crabs dominate the marine ecosystem for good reason. They scour the seabed, feeding on starfish, worms, and mollusks. In the Arctic's cold waters, they face few natural predators. Millions of these giant crabs now fuel a massive industry. In October 2024, Norway's crab exports alone neared $9 million. King crab prices have tripled in a decade, according to the Norwegian Seafood Council. Fishermen in coastal towns can supply these crustaceans to luxury restaurants and hotels worldwide. Norway recently increased the male crab quota by 18%, reaching 1,810 tons by 2023. While this crab benefits fishers and the economy, its growth causes native seabed species to decline rapidly. Red king crabs expanded their range, reaching the Lofoten Islands, a major seasonal cod fishing area. This puts government managers in a dilemma. They must balance the long-term health of king crab fishing with protecting native species and traditional fishing. They can't push for total eradication if they want to maintain support from northern coastal communities. Inside the Norwegian king crab processing facility at Burgoyne's port, 3,000 red crabs are being processed by workers. This is one day's production of red king crab. Soon they'll be transported 1,100 miles to Oslo, loaded onto cargo planes, and flown to Dubai, Los Angeles, and Kuala Lumpur. Fishermen in Burgoyne's trap year-round, with peak season from October to January. The red king crabs they catch are regulated by government quotas to ensure the fishing industry's future. Every few days, the fishermen check their traps. Herring and mackerel bait can catch up to 50 large crabs at once. They then return to shore to sell their catch. A Norwegian crab fishing vessel's crew typically consists of 25 to 30 people. Fishermen can meet their quota of 4,400 to 6,000 pounds per boat in just 2 to 3 weeks. Live red king crabs fetch $120 in restaurants. Norwegian red kings are harvested year-round except April for conservation as they molt. Hundreds of boats scour Bahia Bay to find these prized crustaceans. Fishermen found crabs in shallow waters during late spring. As summer heats up past 42 degrees Fahrenheit, crabs quickly move to cooler, deeper waters. This helps predict their locations throughout the year. Yet, their routes change annually, evading even modern radar detection. Fishing continues until all the ship's tanks are full. This can take up to 1 or 2 months. Another popular technique is called radio fishing. It involves surveying an area with multiple ships at once. When a large school of king crab is discovered, the ship that found it broadcasts encrypted coordinates via radio waves to other fishing participants, and all ships will be directed to this area. Norway's cold waters and sustainable methods yield uniquely flavored crab. Each Norwegian crab fishing vessel can have up to 9,000 traps. This is the maximum allowed. Fishermen attach 200 traps to a 6.5 km long rope. The trap is then lowered to 330, 400 feet deep. They ensure traps are spaced about 98 feet apart. Each trap is equipped with a bait bag. Fishermen crush squid and herring into bait bags and attach them to traps. Crabs on the seafloor are attracted and crawl into the trap. If no crabs are caught, fishermen can load about 1,000 pots onto the boat and move to another area. If red king crabs are present, they set about 200 traps, change the bait, and drop them back to the bottom. As the boat nears the trap, a fisherman throws a hook to pull up the rope and secure the trap. Thanks to the buoy, locating the trap takes only a few minutes. The rope's end is pulled into the boat, attached to a winch, and the trap is lifted aboard. Red king crabs can be sorted, boiled, and frozen. Freezing crabs at sea ensures high product quality. This is why this dish is pricier, and naturally, the crew's pay is higher too. Fishermen release small crabs and females back into the sea. Fishing crews must deliver the catch before it starts to die. Otherwise, toxins from dead crabs can harm all the king crabs. Red king crab is a pricey delicacy in Russian restaurants nationwide. They're also found in the Barents Sea. In Russia, crab fishing starts in October, but regular catches may begin in January. Now, waters in the Bering and Okhotsk seas, their habitat, have cooled to 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Most red king crab fishing areas are ice-covered until May. Consequently, all ships are coated in ice. Vessels must break thick ice to set traps and again to retrieve them. Falling overboard is the biggest danger with slim survival chances. Fishermen are willing to take these risks. Crews fish near the ice edge as king crabs prefer cold waters. They constantly break ice on the boat's sides and fishing gear. The Fishing Commission urges limiting crab traps in icy conditions to reduce ice buildup. Fishermen also face stormy winds and waves up to 2.7 meters high. Crew risk injury or death from heavy equipment use or ice accumulation dangers. Despite challenges, red king crab fishing grows each season. For coastal fishing, trap locations are stored in GPS devices. This prevents traps from being stolen by poachers or other fishermen. The trap is a rectangular wire structure with soft mesh. Directional slots at both ends allow crabs to enter easily. But they can't escape as their limbs get caught in the net. After collecting traps and crabs, fishers reset and move to a new spot.